Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. As you can see, not much sun today. Quite cloudy. It was really foggy this morning. There's still rain in the forecast, but may not get it. Who knows? We'll see. If you hear banging in the background, that is my neighbor that direction. It's really echoing because that's like almost, at least 3/4 of a mile or more from me. But he's working on an excavator. It's quite loud. And usually when there's background weird noises, people point it out. So I thought I would just, take care of that problem. So something that I think is a little odd, strange, funny, whatever, that's happened since Trump won the election, is that, there's a few things, obviously, but like a year ago, maybe not even a year ago, year and a half, 6 months ago, whatever, a lot of conservatives and preppers and truthers and patriots, and I don't even know what all the different denominations out there, but they were all terrified that someday there might be some central bank digital currency, this digital dollar that the deep state and the globalists are shoving down our throats. And that's going to be the end-all be-all. I've talked about it numerous times. So has many other YouTubers. And then it's almost like now that Trump is going to be taking office here in, 23, 25, I don't remember days. I've lost track. That a lot of the opinions have kind of lightened up from that. Part of that, I think, is because Trump and Elon Musk and a few others have been very positive, talked very positively about cryptocurrencies, which are kind of like digital dollars, except they're decentralized. And I see this like kind of, changing of opinions that, well, maybe digital currencies aren't so bad. They're only bad if like the guys we don't like are in charge of them. But if it's the guys that we like, then it's okay, right? I don't know. It's being talked about online and kind of in the news that there are rumors and suspicions and all this kind of stuff that once Trump gets into office, that the far left deep state evil people plan on tanking the economy. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to do something to destroy the economy and force Donald Trump into, that's why you should be careful standing under the trees. Limbs like that can just fall right down on top of you and hurt you. Anyways, that they will force Donald Trump by tanking the economy to accept and implementing central bank digital currencies. I'm a little iffy on this one. I almost feel like it's a psyop being spread, so that when it happens, everyone's like, oh, it's all these people's fault. The theory is that they're going to do this to make Donald Trump look really bad so that they can say, see, we told you, you elect this guy and this is what you get, the destruction of the economy. You better elect a liberal, come next time around. 2028 better get we got to get AOC or Kamala or some other kind of loony bat crazy person in there. That may be the case of what's going on, but I kind of think that maybe it's just a psyop, to play one side against the other. That's how all of this duality, partisan black-white politics is that, we got to make this side hate this side. We got to make the left hate the right, and the right hate the left, the blacks hate the white, and the whites hate the blacks, all this kind of stuff. The Jews and the Christians and the atheists and everybody hates everybody. We got to seed all this dissension. That way they will hate each other, and the only people that they'll trust in is us, the givers of everything they have, the government, right? So I think that, number one, I think it's very likely that we could see massive economic upheaval over the next 4 years. There's too many things that's indicating that, and one being this potential for this H5N1, bird flu pandemic. That could, we've still certainly not recovered from the coronavirus pandemic economically, and so that could do it. this push for digital currencies. And, everyone's like, well, cryptocurrencies are great. They're okay. And I'm going to have no problem necessarily with cryptocurrencies. I don't ever see a time where any government, the U.S. government especially, is going to say, okay, we'll just switch to Bitcoin. We'll get rid of the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Mint and the Treasury and everything, and we'll just do Bitcoin. Bitcoin may be a great investment. It may be something that's going to be around for a while, and there may be places that you can use it to purchase things, but I don't think it'll ever replace the dollar. And most people in Bitcoin say that too. It's not that it's going to replace it. It's just an alternative. Same way with most all the other cryptocurrencies, and I'm not going to get into the weeds on that stuff. But establishing a digital currency, a recognized government-issued digital currency, I think is very real and will happen. I don't think it's an if, not even really a when. It's just the question is how it's going to look. Is it going to be absolutely, completely controlled by like the Federal Reserve or whatever, the Fed coin? Or is it going to be a little bit more decentralized? And that way it's kind of like a cryptocurrency, but it's still a federalized issued. I don't know. But I can tell you that either way, as far as I'm concerned, and you may disagree with me, both are bad. Either or whatever bad. And I think it's coming. And we need to be preparing ourselves. I know I've been saying this for years, and I know there's going to be someone, man, 5 years ago you were saying the same thing about the economy. And the economy's gotten worse, and we're more and more in debt. I think that it's very likely by the time Trump gets out of office, we could easily see $50 trillion in debt. I think that's very well within the possibilities. And that's if the economy and the U.S. dollar and all that is still exists. We could see $50 trillion in debt. The amount of spending, all kinds of stuff. He is talking about deporting a lot of illegals, but he's also talking about importing a bunch of people that are legal. The spending that's being talked about, the removal of the debt ceiling, all that. We need to get serious about what we're going to do and prepare for an economic collapse. It may not be completely devastating. And that's, I think, where the mainstream opinion is on what an economic collapse could look like. But there is a strong possibility that it could be absolutely devastating, as bad as Venezuela and all these other countries, maybe even worse because we're bigger. We're bigger. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. We're bigger. We also, and I always throw this in because I don't know of any economists that ever figure this into their equations. We are also in a population of people that are the least self-sufficient, self-reliant human population that's ever existed. No one knows how to do anything. No one's capable of doing anything. Everyone's so dependent upon technology and government and a system and all that when it all comes crashing down, or even parts of it come crashing down, it's going to be epically bad. I was also seeing online that Zimbabwe, mentioning countries that have economic collapses, Zimbabwe's prostitutes are now reportedly accepting beans and corn for their services. I don't think that this is probably the first time that prostitutes have accepted food for their work. I know it's the oldest profession and it's always going to be here and stuff, but it's how bad it is. I mean, I guess decolonization worked really well for old Rhodesia, huh? That now even the sex workers are having to, exchange food for services. And there's a little humor twist in there, all of the grotesque, illicit behavior that's going on here in the United States with, pornography and OnlyFans and all this kind of stuff. And the folks that can't get out of their basement to either watch this stuff or do all their video gaming. What are they going to do? I mean, are they going to figure out a way to transfer a chicken online, so you watch the video? I don't know. And I know there's I'm kind of sort of being silly there, but the point is that our society is in no way, shape, or form capable of, in large part, of sustaining itself, of figuring out how to survive, okay? And there's people that can't even figure out how to put gas in their vehicle or pop the hood of their vehicle or change a tire or fix something or put their Christmas lights up. That was something, I guess I'm so like living under a rock. I saw something a couple of weeks ago about, the prices of what it costs to have your Christmas lights put up. And I thought, people pay to have their Christmas lights put up? Like, what? You can't just put them up yourself? I mean, if you want to put Christmas lights up, you can't. You have to pay. And some people, they were saying that it costs like a few $1,000s. I don't know. That's another thing. But the point is that no one seems to be able to do their own stuff. And we've got an economy, we've got a government that is completely bloated. And I think it's beyond the point of repair. I mean, even if Donald Trump went in and started hacking off massive amounts of spending, which he may in some areas, but it looks like in other areas it's probably going to increase. I mean, he's talking about still sending aid to Ukraine. So but even if there was an aggressive cutback in spending, I still don't think it's going to fix much. I don't even think it'll slow it down. I really don't even think it's going to slow it down. The inflation is rising still and more now, picking up speed. Just the average, if you look at different studies and statistics and all this kind of stuff among young people, people 20 to 25, 28 years old, where they're starting off, trying to maybe buy a house and stuff like that, they have no interest in purchasing homes. They have no interest in things that have been the norm because they know it's out of their reach. They can't do it. It's not going to happen. And all of this are just sign after sign and symptom after symptom of an economic collapse. And so this rumor that the left is going to, they're going to do something that causes the economy to collapse under Trump so he can be blamed for it, seems to me like it's just kind of setting up the narrative so that it's going to happen. And then, the left can blame the right and the right can blame the left. And, we can all say, well, it's not really anyone's big fault. It's this and this and this and not realize that it's because of decades of stupidity and decades of becoming a weaker and a weaker people. And I'm telling you, this is something you better be getting yourselves ready for. I know I talk about all these other things, prepare, and really for me it's preparing in general, but this is something that's very real, and it is absolutely unsustainable for this nation to continue going and doing what we're doing with the fiat money system, with the debt, and not just federal debt like government debt, but household debt. No, it can't do it. Can't keep doing it. It's not sustainable, folks. And at some point, old Humpty Dumpty's going to fall. Is it going to happen in the next 2 to 4 years? Possibly. But at some point, it's going to happen. And you better start figuring out a way so that you can survive and you're not having to trade your services for beans and corn. Because it's like that in other places, and it has been like that throughout history at times. And I'd say it's going to get that way here in the United States. And when it comes, it's going to be devastating. The things that you have read in history about in Zimbabwe and in Venezuela and Weimar Germany and all that kind of stuff, it's coming here. And what's interesting about those places is the more immoral they become, the worse their economy gets. It's like I don't know. There's a correlation there, and America. I cannot. I know it will, but I can't imagine America becoming more immoral than it is now. I'm sure that it will become more immoral, but it kind of boggles the mind that it could possibly be worse. So you need to get ready. You need to be stocking up. Food, skills, bullets, all that kind of stuff, Band-Aids, probably a little bit of precious metal, although I wouldn't go too crazy on that. I'm not one that goes nuts on that kind of stuff. Because in the end, people, and they're not trading their bodies for gold and silver in Zimbabwe, they're trading it for food. And you need to be a producer, not a consumer. Be self-sufficient, not dependent. and you need to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.